Greetings, everybody. Amar here, and I've been trying something different last night. I looked at all the sums, and I was having trouble organizing my data. So I actually had to just redo everything. So I spent about uh, 2.5 hours total from last night and also from this morning, and basically, I just made basically skip charts. I call them 4B bars for the sums. So just as an overall review, these are the combinations, okay? And this is the sum here. So like this combination, the sum is 11, and the combination is 0 to 9, and these are all 11. So these are the quantities of the combinations within this particular sum. So some 12, 13, 14, 15 all have 15 combinations here. I put quantity. If you look at lottery post, he says quant, but I don't think quant is a real word. But anyway, quantity is how many sums there are. I just put these 15s here just because I was focusing on these. This is the same information. And this is the actual count of the sums that occurred since 2016, since the first. Now here you have actual four. So 4 times you had 000, 3 times you had 999. Now on the skip chart, my actual count is going to be -1 of all of these. So for instance, this says 194, but I have 193. And that's because since I couldn't figure out the skip going from 2015 to 2016, I just didn't calculate it because it would have been off. It would have been an incorrect count of the skip, although I do have the number. So if I made a list, I would put it on the list, but it would have no skip because you don't know what the skip is. I could go back farther time in history, but that's more work, and there's errors in the data. I would have to email the New York Lottery website and ask them to send me the data, and I can't do that. But anyway, I think 2016 to now is enough data. That's 2016, 17, 18. That's 3 years. At 2 drawings per day, that's virtually 6 years. So I think that's enough. So here is a bar chart of these sums. So basically, I took this information here, I transposed it here, and then I made this chart. So you can see that here in the middle, technically by distribution, these two sums here, which is sum 13 and 14, should be at the peak, but it's not. These are lower for some reason. So you can't say that this is going to even out, but it was just an interesting observation. So basically what I did is I copied the information from my other file, the core file, where I have all the active charts, the one that Loki made. And so since I did the skip charts here, I'll just give you an example here. So what I did is I took all the data, I ran the filters. So here I ran the filters and I brought it here. Okay, so this is sum 0, and then this is sum 1, and this is sum 2, and I ran all the filters, and then basically I kind of tried to automate it. So this took about an hour to do for all 27 sums. And then what I do here is, for instance, this is sum number. Let's go to the sum that we're looking at right now. Actually, let's go to sum 17. So what I do here is after I run the filter, basically you just do a simple subtraction, which is this here, which is the game count. This is from 2016, the game count, and you just subtract, right? So this is, you subtract this game count from this game count -1, and you get the skip. Okay, and then you just autofill, it fills in, and then what I did is I copied this information, and then this is sum 17. I took it, so this is the data, right? And then after I got the skip, I copied this and I transposed it into here, all skips. So here is sum 17 over here, and then here I pasted it here, and this is where it comes out. So this is the same bell curve here. This is the skips of the combinations, and you can see here. See, it's like a long drawn out bell curve. Let me see if I zoom out, maybe it's easier to see that it's a bell curve. I don't know. It's a bell curve. It's basically the skips of those combinations. So I just did I made bar charts for these here in the middle. And I did that because I can't see what's going past the edge of the screen. But for these sums here, I can see all the skips. So I don't really need to do those bar graphs because I just have the information here. And it's actually good because I would have had to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 more bar graphs. And it just gets a little complicated. But I don't really need it. And what? You would have a bar graph with only 3 datas. So going back to the 17. So the 17 sum is here. And then I took this data here and then I created a graph and the way I created the graph, let's do just for an example, number 20, sum 23. You copied the data here, you go to insert, you recommend a chart, you pick the chart you want, and there you go, and here's your bar chart. So this is like a skip chart that you would find in an Advantage Gold program, or hopefully in many lottery programs. I know they have it in gold. In gold, they have it sometimes in the form of a pyramid. On other charts, it's a form in a bar. There was an error, not an error, but there was an omission. Like the first bar would be correct, but the second bar was not correct in Advantage Gold. I wrote a email to Joe Hicks, the programmer. He has not responded to me in over a week. I feel that's very irresponsible of him. So I'm a little concerned about that, why he would do that, right? He wants help. I sent him a suggestion and also regarding that technical bug, because it would show this would be 242 instead of 243. So I get it's not really a bug. It's just it's a one-off count, but it bothers me. So anyway, so this is how I create the chart, and then I would move the chart to another file. So I'm just going to delete this, but this is just an example of how the chart is made. And then so here's 17. So 17, you can see over time, this goes back to 2016. I should actually have that label here. Let's see, to 2016, and this is also New York. I don't have them all labeled. I only have charts for New York right now in regards to sums. So anytime I do pick 3, it's going to be New York, because to do all these charts for all their states is crazy. I'd have to automate it somehow, do a macro, pay somebody. Loki could do it. I might send him some money, but right now I can't play. And but I like these charts. So here, this is where we were with the sum 17. Okay, you can see the last skip was 17, and then it was 460. So that's a flag formation. Okay, so all of these are like flag skips. 0, 3, 5, 3, 5, 6, and then here 3, 0, 1, 4, 2, 2. These are all flag skips. And you can see that the maximum for sum 17 has gone to 92. So if it goes up to 92, you definitely want to start chasing those sum 17s. So what I did is because the other chart was getting it has so much data, I brought over the big dish. Now, remember the simple concept. The flag is where you find it. Now, why do I use the pink to put the flag? Is because I needed to stand out. All right, I had gotten to the habit of seeing a number getting hot, and I would graph it. I would graph it on paper, and I first started using pink because I would use a pink highlighter. I said, okay, this is hot, this is hot, this is hot, and I started to color them in because I was having this problem where my mind would start saying, this number is too hot. You know, it's got to cool down. You got to, stop playing it. But invariably, the number would continue hitting. So I would mark it pink, and it was a reminder to me to kind of override that thought where I'm saying it's not going to hit anymore. I started having to use the pink, hot pink, to be like, no, play that number, stop, don't listen to that thought. Okay, that thought is it's counterintuitive. Okay, so this is the same information. This is a drawing sense hit chart here. Position 1, position 2, position 3. Position 1, position 2, position 3. This is the same exact data. So without coloring it in pink, right, this is basically what it is. Now, it's very hard to make heads or tails out of this. Basically, it's like you can't see anything. So that's why the color helps. So this has the zeros, but still it's very difficult to see. So I put the coloring to help me filter in my mind what the patterns are. Okay, so this is what it looks like with nothing. Now with the coloring, I'm going to go to show the big dish. This is what it looks like. So here are my flags. You see, so here's a flag formation, here's a flag formation, here's a flag formation. This is the number 6. Let me see. Maybe I'll make these numbers a little bigger. Hopefully, whoop, yeah, so you can see. So this is number 6 in the middle. Okay, you can see the flag. And so I would then invariably pick that number to play. Say, look at this number. It's a flag. It's so obvious. 2-5 flag, and this is the number 6 in the first position. Okay. The other flag here is the number 4 in the first position. Sorry, in the second position. This is the second position. You can see. First position is blue. Second position is yellow. Third position is green. So these are all flags that are showing. So this is a flag of the 4 in the second position. So I put this little box here. That's what I'm looking at. 4 and the 6. Now, the position 2 repeater is in a flag, and you can see that there's symmetry here that's happening around the 8. You had the 8, then you had the 4-0, so this was all down, 8-8-4-0, okay? And then this is approaching sidereal here at skip 22, but here you got the symmetry. The 8 is symmetrical to the 8, the 8 is symmetrical to the 8. So then I have this marked here as the middle position to repeat. So that's why I have here for the 8. Now the interesting about the 8 in the second position is that this was only one dormant period before it had this flag, 3-2-4. All right, and now it's only one dormant period again. So basically, it's not an overdue number. It's like it's not a cold number per se. And I don't have the TFR here, but to see, I think the 6 moved up, but I think the 8 is the second best number. But according to the second position to repeat, you have the 8 here. Is going to come in. So that's why I have the 8. So the 8 would be my first choice, and then the flag would be the second choice, and this flag would be the second choice. I would look closer at these markers here. Okay. Now you see these skips. This chart. All right. Well, let's look at the bar chart for the 17 again. So the 17 here. Well, let me see. Well, why am I saying the 17? Let me show you why I'm saying the 17. So, okay, so I brought over the big dish here, and these are the ones with the no format. But this is the all sums dish. So I brought the all sums dish over also. So this is just a simple copy paste, copy values, copy formats. And here's the all sums dish. So simple concept. The flag is where you find it, and I color the pink in. I color the flags pink so I can find them easier. Okay, so here is the this is the data. For sum 7, this is the data for all the sums. 17 is highlighted here, and here's the dish. So 17 hit. So here you go, 4606. So there's a flag. So sum 17, right? Now there are other flags here. Now basically, the best way to do this, okay, with the sums is to compare all the sums. I'm only going to look at a few. Let's see. Let's do the long shots because the 4B bars, that's what I'm calling them, are better working for the long shot. So here, let's say, here's the sum 19. And you can see here it's at skip 26. All right, previously it had skipped at 54. So let's just look at the 26 and how it compares to the rest of the skip chart in the bars. So number 19, okay, so what was it, skip 26? Oh man, see, I forgot. And it's good to have a paper nearby so you can write stuff down so you don't have to remember. So where are we? Skip 26, sum 19. So let's go to sum 19, skip 26, sum 19 here. Skip 26. Now, for me, the easy way to try to see where it is, let's see, I would put in here, where are you? Come on. I want to put in a marker, a shape, and usually I put in an arrow, and I'll usually format it red so that it sticks out and it's red. And then we bring it down, and now we're looking for 26. So 26 is somewhere around here. Okay. Now you can see that there have been a couple of hits here around 25. So this is 25. And then let's move it up. Let's just assume this is 26 because there's no other 26. So you haven't had any skips ever at 26. You got a 27. 26 is symmetrical to 27. You have a 28, a 29. So you're kind of in a wheelhouse, sort of. It's a long shot because it's always tricky. But you can see that the maximum skip is maxed out at 105. The way that other skip was 92. The sum 17 was 92. This is 105. So this is how I would predict whether that sum was going to come in. Around 30, you could say, all right, 30, 31 is pretty good because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times occurring around 30, 31, whereas 26, you've never happened, right? 27 was only once, 28 was only once, so it gets better as you approach 30, 31. And then the next time you would look is, let's say, probably around around here, and then maybe around 50 because you have 49, 50, and then here 60. If you see this skip, not sum 19 is getting around sum 60, excuse me. If you see that this sum 19 is getting around to skip 60 games combined, you would say, all right, let me start playing it. So this is how I use this chart. And I did all of these, and it took me about 2 hours and a half. And I like it because the most important thing is I have all the data in one place. These are all the skips. So I can add here to put more data. I have the official filter data here, so I can check and make sure everything's all right. I can expand. I can look at the combinations over here. So sum 17 right now, let's see, the last sum 17 combinations that have occurred was 944, 674, 467, 098. Now let's assume that I'm correct with the middle position repeating. If the middle position repeating is correct here, and you get the number 8 in the middle over here, and I'm correct with the sum, where the sum stays in the flag, and it's a 17, you've been able to reduce and filter your combinations to a great extent just using those charts, okay? But the most important concept is the flag is where you find it, because that's where you're going to get the most of your hits. The only two patterns that you can, what happened? The only two patterns you can win with are the flag formation or a long bottom. You're going to have an upstroke, you're going to have a downstroke. Downstrokes are better than upstrokes, because upstrokes goes towards infinity. Downstrokes goes towards 0. Okay, another sum that looks good here is the sum 14. So I'm going to copy the red marker. I'm going to put here the 14 looks good. And why? Because there's symmetry. There's 4, 3. There's also symmetry here with the 9, 7. You could also just do the mirror of the 17. The mirror of the 17 would be what, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So you could put a 22 here. You could say, all right, I'm going to look at the 22. Again, the 8 in the middle position. That gives you it gives you one combination with the 7, with the 7, 7, 8. But you got the 6, 8, 8, and then you have the 5, 8, 9. So you can filter. You're filtering by the 8, and then here with the 7 in the middle, you only have one combination. So one combination with the 8 in the middle would be 2, 8, 7, or it would be 7, 8, 2, 7, 8, 2. So I was able to reduce and filter down my combination just by using the flag in the middle position with the repeater, and then also looking at this sum flag here. And basically these are the two ones I would play. I would play both of these. I would probably play this box 2 times instead of playing a straight, just to be safe. But I would try to find the best straight. So let's see, 287 or 782. So here's the 7. The 7 is a long shot, and here's the 2 coming in reverse. So it's hard to say. Nothing's clear. But let's look at the 2 over here. The 2 over here. Okay, this is 4 cold periods. This is 3. This is 3, and this is 4. So that's 4 cold periods. And here the 7, 9, 8, 7. Here's a symmetry. You have a 9, 5, 8 symmetry. You see? So 1, 2, 3. This is 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit. You're looking for 4 hits. So here's your symmetry. So based on that pattern, I would put the 7 in the back. Okay, so there now I have a potential straight. But that's only if the 8 repeats and you don't have these flags. But right now I'm looking at this repeater because this is a strong symmetry pattern. But you don't know. This position 1 could repeat, or this position could repeat. So or you could have a double repeater here at 48 games, a sidereal. Or you could have a double. Here's the doubles flag. Here's 1 cold period, and then now it's a streak. So it's a guessing game, and you're trying to make the best guess that you can possible. But based on this repeater here in the middle, this repeater chart, based on this all sum flag of sum 17, based on only one combination with the 7 with the 8, right? But I'm still trying to focus on the 7s. But then you could also expand if you like the 8 in the middle. You could go to sum 22, and you have the 7, 8, 7. Let's say like that. 7, 8, 7. All right. Now the double 7s are very, very overdue, but they've gone to a very, very large skip. I don't have a chart handy. I could put the doubles chart here, but I just want to keep the sum. I want to keep everything separate because it just gets really, really complicated. But right now, I like this kind of layout as far as the data goes, because I'm going to do the same thing with the 7 pairs. All 7 pairs. I'll put all the pairs here. I'll put the skips here, and then I'll put the bar charts here. So this is what the bar charts look. And since if you look at here, also the curve here, this gives you the actual hits, right? So as the sum goes on, you're going to have more and more skips as more and more occur. So I'm just going to just walk through all the bars. So here, and you can see I actually added 3 spaces at the end for all of these charts, so I could add the data and I don't have to drag the the um, the box to cover the data. I'll just add the data. So I have 3 here. So this only has, I think, this 74 hits. 7 has 103 hits. 8 has 134 hits. But this is approximately because it skips. So it goes from 133 to 136. Here you can see the height is 70. Skip 70. Skip 75. And here's the 51 that just occurred for the sum 8. So it was approaching here, a little wheelhouse, the 52, 54. So the 51 came in. Skip 51 for sum 8. I don't remember the number off the top of my head. It's over here. Where is it? Sum 8. 080. So then go to sum 9. It's got more hits, 154. And this way I can count. This one has less. The sum 10 has less than sum 9. So that's a little bit anomalous. You can see the top skip is 90. And you just go through. And so, yeah, you have to use all of these in conjunction because you don't know if you're going to get a flag or you're going to get a long bottom. Okay, but symmetry is always important. Symmetry is important in the flag and within the long bottom. Here you can see for sum 13, here's a long bottom, 46, 45, 46, 45, 45, 44. So these are all long bottoms, right? You would know to start playing the sum around this long bottom. Okay, now I had suggested to Joe to put these into the program, then I would put the data in. I know there's a problem that you did with the double zero. You'd have to use 10 instead of 10, as the 1 is the placeholder for the first position, and then 20 would be 2 second position, and 3 would be 30 for third position. But I had done it. I had put the information into Advantage Gold, not Gold, Advantage Plus one time. I must have been doing it for like 5 hours, just typing in the data manually. And I had a problem because when you close Advantage Plus, you're supposed to hit it. You're supposed to put Escape, and you say yes. But I X'd it out, and I lost all the data. But I was doing it for a while, and you were being able to see what combinations were coming in. You could do it for find the front pairs and et cetera like that. So anyway, I got a message that my hard drive space is low. I'm going to cut off this message, but basically those are my combinations here. And where are they? Back here. So where are we? All sums. These are the combinations. 287, 782, 787 based on that data. Hope this makes sense. Comments, like, subscribe. And that's it. I got to delete some memory off my computer or else I will lose this video. All right, peace. Good luck, everybody. Happy number hunting.